Let's switch gears and head to the tight end position where we're going to talk about, Cade Otton coming off his best day of the season, 12 targets, 9 catches, 82 yards against the New England Patriots. Should you bring him on board? He's about 42% owned in Yahoo leagues. We're going to talk about guys right about at his level, and we're going to go up from there and figure out who you should drop to bring Cade Otton on board, starting with Houston Texans tight end Dalton Schultz. Yash, Otton or Schultz?
Give me Otton for now.
Okay.
Once again, he is another player that Baker Mayfield likes to pummel the ball with, especially when Mike Evans is out, which, like we talked about in the last segment, he's going to be out for a while. So he went to Otton early and often yesterday. I don't think that changes. I like Schultz, but I think that Otton is going to get more consistent usage, especially moving forward. So, yeah, give me Cade Otton in that case.
I disagree there just because we've seen him out on the field running a ton of routes, and that depleted a Mike Evans list, Chris Godwin list, Bucky Irving list lineup. But he hasn't really been producing at that high a level, hasn't been turning those routes into targets that often. He's maximizing the targets he gets. He's had double digits in 5 of his last 6 games. The one miss there was an 8-pointer. So he's consistent and he's solid. But I think the floor of a guy like Dalton Schultz is a little bit higher because he's seeing the ball more often. He's getting a higher target share. And listen, the thing Otton's going to have over Schultz right now is that Otton's going to get red zone targets.
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz basically has none. He's 1 touchdown this season. I think he has 4 total red zone targets. He's not the guy near the end zone for Houston, but he is the guy near the line of scrimmage. They've dialed back his target distance quite a bit, and now he's kind of thriving in a high volume but maybe low yardage role. In PPR leagues, doesn't matter. That's going to pay off for you. So give me Dalton Schultz in this one.
Okay.
Next man up, former Pro Bowler, and now part of a platoon for the Cleveland Browns, David Njoku. Guys, you want Cade Otton or do you want the veteran David Njoku?
You're going to laugh, but I'm going with Otton once again here. Yeah. The thing with Njoku is he's still splitting time with Fannin. Both of them are part of the Cleveland offense, if you can call it that, after what witnessed yesterday. Maybe they go to Sanders and we start seeing a little bit more going up the middle, but I just don't trust the quarterback in Cleveland right now. I know that Njoku is a great player, great tight end. He gets plenty of run, but if he can't have a quarterback that can get him the ball, then what's the point of rostering him? So, no, I'm going to stick with Otton in this one.
The Browns still giving Njoku a lot of run because they're running 12 personnel sets with 2 tight ends more than anyone else in the league. They do it about half the time, which makes sense because Harold Fannon's been great. The last 2 weeks, Fannin 54 routes, Njoku only 40. Without the touchdowns, he'd be pretty much fantasy irrelevant. Now, granted, that's probably going to keep happening. This is a team that's targeted one of those 2 tight ends on about a third of their passing plays this year just because things are bad. And Jerry Jeudy finally came online in week 10, but he led the league in drops up until then. So not a lot of trustworthy receivers in that Browns offense. That's why they are defaulting back to the tight ends. Yeah. But if you want one Cleveland tight end right now, it's the rookie out of Bowling Green, Fannin. Njoku, veteran leader, a guy you definitely want on the team, a guy who can definitely boost you on a week-to-week basis. But if you are picking up one guy for the playoff run that you're going to be putting in your lineup week after week after week, it's going to be Cade Otton for me.
Right.
Finally, a guy who has fallen off along with the quarterback play in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I bring that up solely so a bunch of guys with Skull in their Twitter handles can yell at me online. T.J. Hockenson of the Minnesota Vikings going through a bit of a slump this year. The name value is there. The athleticism's there. And he's been doing a bang-up job as a blocker for Minnesota. Blocking doesn't translate, however, to fantasy points. So, Yash, who do you want? Cade Otton or the 72% owned T.J. Hockenson?
This will be a clean sweep for Cade Otton in my eyes in this exercise. You've already said it. Hockenson is not getting the typical run that he's gotten in years past. He's been used much more as a blocker. Now, is that because J.J. McCarthy needs more protection? Is he more likely to take off? Probably. Could be a little part of it. But either way, he just does not look like the same. He's not getting the same production that he has in years past. So I'm going to take the guy whose quarterback is actually feeding him the ball, which would be Cade Otton.
There are 70 tight ends who've run at least 50 routes this season. T.J. Hockenson's 0.81 yards per route run ranks 59th among them. His target distance is way down as well. So not only is he not getting targeted, he's getting targeted when he does get the ball about half as far downfield as he was with Sam Darnold in the lineup. This is definitely a offense that is trying to build up J.J. McCarthy, trying to make sure he has a safety valve, and that safety valve is T.J. Hockenson. J.J. McCarthy believes in J.J. McCarthy so hard, though, that he is not checking down that often. He is trying to make things happen. So he's getting the ball out to Justin Jefferson, to Jordan Addison, to Jalen Naylor. And
don't forget
it's working
Naylor this
in
week.
some cases. Yeah, a Naylor probably ruined someone out there's fantasy season with a huge performance in week 10. And McCarthy, he's got the arm. He's got great pinpoint accuracy on some throws. Some throws he's making bad reads, and he does need to check down to Hockenson. But you don't want to – you want him to take those risks at this point in his career. And Kevin O'Connell wants him to take those risks because he knows what he could be building up to. So, no, I don't see Hockenson turning things around. Otton has the more stable floor. And if we're being honest, probably the higher ceiling.